It's Friday, November 29th, 2013, and let's talk about what happened this week over at xdadevelopers.com. As you probably realize by now, this is actually Thursday when I'm filming this, so happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thursday or Friday, depending on when you're watching this, to the rest of you. And let's go ahead and get on with the news. First up, previously we talked about how HTC had said they'd given the code for the Google Play Edition HTC One over to Google, and it was just a matter of time before the update released. Well, the official update to Android 4.4 for the HTC One Google Play Edition has now released, and additionally, the Samsung Galaxy S4 Google Play Edition has received its KitKat update as well, so if you have one of these two devices, you can go ahead and check for the over-the-air update. If it's not available though, you should be able to find the link through our forum, through the portal post, through the forum threads, whatever. Additionally, however, they've gone ahead and released the kernel source code for these two devices over on the HTC Dev site and the Samsung Open Source Center website, so you can always go over there if you're interested in doing any sort of kernel modifications or building a ROM around this or anything like that that you need the kernel source for. Now, speaking of the Galaxy S4, we mentioned previously that AT&T had rolled out the Galaxy S4 update to Android 4.3 and then taken it back. Well, as of this week, that update is now available over the air again, and the link to it has been captured. Additionally, the T-Mobile Galaxy S4 has received an over-the-air update to Android 4.3, so now most of the devices that are Galaxy S4 should be running 4.3, and there should be links to all of these things available on the portal and in the forum threads, and of course, wherever else you'd want to go to find them. Now, moving right along, we've talked a lot about devices receiving Android 4.4. A new one has received 4.4 that I honestly never expected to be talking about, and that is the Nexus One, the OG, the original Nexus. This was done by XDA-recognized developer Texas Ice, and as you might expect, it's not the best, it's not 100%, it's still to be considered very early, very alpha, very buggy. Just to kind of give you an idea of what's wrong with it, don't try to use art on it. Art will not work, it will cause it to boot loop. The graphics drivers are not good, they just are buggy and glitchy. The camera is having problems, screenshots just don't work. So it's not a daily driver, but it is definitely an excellent proof of concept, going to show that these Nexus devices where, it's a Nexus device, you can keep it running for an awfully long time, and Android 4.4 is very compatible with older hardware. So hopefully we will start to see older hardware become more and more supported. The community, of course, being the amazing part of this, keeping things up and going, and thanks so much to Texas Ice for keeping the original Nexus, the Nexus One, going. Now, moving right along, if you are a bit of a camera person like I definitely am, one of the things that I've always found missing with the Android camera is, of course, for one, built-in imaging burst mode, and two, built-in RAW support. Now, you don't really expect that out of a cell phone camera, but someone from Google, specifically a spokesperson from Google named Gina Scigliano, I'm gonna mess that one up and I don't care, has come forward to say that there are some new APIs coming out for the camera that developers can tap into. This should also be coming into the default camera as well, that will enable RAW support, which is amazing, and will enable burst mode shooting. Now, in the past there have been burst modes on other Android cameras, but never built into the official one, and sometimes they're not really that great. It really depends on the device and the camera in the device. Now, the one thing I will say about this, the one thing I'm really curious about, cell phone camera sensors are notoriously small, because cell phones are small, and the area to have for that is small. So it's nice to be able to maximize the potential of what you're going to be able to get out of it, but I would still foresee it not being amazing. But still, if you can take a really nice sensor, like one in, I don't even know, an Android camera that has an amazing sensor. The Galaxy Note 3 has a really good sensor in it. If you could pull raw footage out of that, that would be very, very cool. At least for the picture side. I don't know about video, raw video, because honestly, I've seen that in some DSLRs, and that's about the only place I've seen raw video at this point. But still, the future does look bright when it comes to Android stock AOSP type cameras, and potentially even cameras built on top of the APIs that are available to it. And I'm moving right along, the last two stories I wanted to talk about. In the first one, CyanogenMod installer has been in the Google Play Store for a little while now. Well, apparently, according to a blog post over on the CyanogenMod site, it's no longer in the Play Store. Google came out and said that it was promoting the voiding of warranties, effectively. And realistically, what the application was doing was showing you how to turn on ADB on your device, connect it to your computer, so an application that was not on Android could do the rest of the work for you. So it was, I don't know if it was exactly promoting voiding warranties, but at the same time, I halfway understand this and I halfway don't. It's kind of a bummer, but keep in mind this is an open source application, so you can always go over to their website, you can get the code, you can get the APK file, you can do all of this yourself if you're interested, but it's probably going to be a bit of a hindrance because the people that it was targeting are not the people that are going to go to the CyanogenMod website and pull down an APK and sideload it themselves. So it could definitely be a bit of a bummer there. And the last thing that I wanted to mention before talking about the XDA specific news, the guys from OmniROM have come out and said that there are now officially OmniROM nightlies available, and they're available for 15 different devices. It is a very, very long list, but it encompasses things like the Oppo Find 5, several of the Nexus devices, several different Galaxy S2 and S3s, and Notes and Note 2s, so lots of different devices, and not things that were really unexpected, but it is very nice to have a thorough, comprehensive list of devices that have these nightlies available for them. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to head on over to the portal page. You can see the full list of devices that have nightlies available. And as always, you can go over to the IRC channel, hashtag OmniROM, I believe, or hashtag Omni on irc.freenode.net. to talk to the guys that are actually developing this and see when your device is going to be supported, if they're even going to, or see if you can help out if you're interested in helping. And the last thing to mention, 3 other videos were posted to XDA Developer TV this week. In the first one, TK did another XDA Exposed Tuesday where he talked about an exposed module, specifically controlling your app startup using Boot Manager. And then Adam showed you how to launch an app using Google Now. And then TK did another Android app review showing you how to draw numbers on your phone to dial those numbers using an app called Draw to Dial. So it's very cold out here where I am with my in-laws for Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna head back inside and have some more pie. As always, remember, if you like this video, please do hit that like button down below for me sitting out here in the freezing weather. Subscribe to receive our content as soon as it becomes available. Thank you so much for watching though, and I will see you again on Monday.